Welcome to FranCast, brought to you by United Franchise Group. I'm Chad Palmer, and today we're going to talk about all things franchising, what it is, how it works, and how to think about it the right way with real talk about franchising. Joining me today is Mike Landis, Regional Vice President at Accurate Franchising. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Chad. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Hey, so before we jump in, I'd just like you to share a little bit about your story. Just tell us about how you got into franchising and what keeps you excited about it.
Absolutely. So I started with the organization approximately 5.5 years ago. So, approaching that 6-year mark, but I have never been in franchising before this.
Yeah.
But started with selling some of the brands that we own and operate directly as a franchisor. And then I was quickly drawn over to the consulting division, which is Accurate Franchising. So I've been doing that now for 5 years.
Excellent. So for those listeners that are just brand new to franchising, how would you explain the concept of franchising just in plain English? So
with franchising, it's really taking a corporately owned business and creating a separate entity, which is going to be the franchise entity. Mm-hmm. And that's where it allows for other individuals to purchase a location and run that location with consistency and uniformity. And meanwhile, the corporately owned business owner is going to be profiting off of that.
Hopefully, right?
Correct. Correct.
So what are the biggest myths that people have about franchising when they first come to you?
I think the biggest misconception is that you need to have multiple locations doing a certain amount of revenue or even being, just open a certain amount of years, where in reality, if you have one flagship location at minimum that's doing good and it could be duplicated or replicated, you're in that sweet spot.
So do you recommend that they if they have one location that's working great, for them to kind of launch that second and third location before coming to you? Or you think, hey, as long as you have a great concept that we can brand and we can market and we can sell, that they're okay to go?
I see it both ways. I would say if you have one location and it's doing exceptional, you're starting to get a nice following in your neighborhood. You get a lot of social media likes or, followers, and you're getting that question, hey, Chad, I like the business. How do I become a part of it? That's a good indication that you have something, even if it's just one location that you could duplicate through franchising. So 1 to 2. That's the sweet spot I look for.
Yep. So basically, when the customers are basically telling that owner, "Hey, we want more of you. Like we want some more locations, scattered around a little bit," that's a good indicator.
That is fantastic. Yes.
So at a high level, what makes someone a good candidate for franchising, like regardless of the brand?
I would look for, again, one flagship location. I would look for something that could be duplicated or replicated in multiple geographic markets. I would also look for something that's scalable, has their systems, processes, procedures in place. Mm-hmm. And if they have that, that's what we look for. And the last item is a differentiator. If you have that secret sauce or something that just makes you a little unique and different, that is exactly what you want to see.
That's great. So let's flip the script now from your perspective. Like, what mistakes do people make? They say, "Hey, I want to franchise like right now. Let's go. Mike, help me out." What mistakes do you see them?
We're very step-by-step driven. So I like to take it, one step at a time, crawl, walk, run, and let us go through the feasibility with you. Let us take a look at it. And if it's a conversation where we have with the prospect, or, if you were the prospect here, if we look at the feasibility and we saw it's a brand new concept, just open, franchising might not be the greatest path for them. But if they have...
Prove yourself first a little bit.
Yeah, because we're going to give them our feedback, and it's going to be honest feedback, and we're going to look at it through the lens of our own and really ask ourselves, is this something that could be scaled through franchising right now, or should they wait 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be?
Okay, so let's say I'm a potential prospect for you. I've got 2-3 locations. I'm just not sure about my next move. What's a smart move for me to make to get more information about franchising?
I would say if you're in that scenario and you have everything I just listed off as far as what we look for, at least explore it. Have the conversation. It's a free conversation to have with us. It's not something you have to pay for. We just want to enlighten the prospect on, hey, this is how franchising works, and see if it's a good fit for you.
Yeah, make sure it's a good fit, not just an idea that
right.
Just because I think I would be good at it doesn't mean that I would.
Exactly.
So on a lighter note, tell me about a franchise success story that kind of sticks with you.
So one that's near and dear to my heart is one that I actually found myself. So it was in local South Florida here where we're located. Our friends told us about it. And this dates back around 3 years ago. But it was to show my daughter a really fun time before we told her, hey, you're not going to be an only child anymore.
Right.
So
the big news was coming.
Yeah. She didn't know yet,
Yeah.
but we wanted to give her a real fun day. So we went to this indoor playground. I don't know if you've heard of these, but they're awesome.
Yep.
So I went in, I saw the business. It was packed. And for me, on the franchising side, I know this is something that could be duplicated. So I asked the lady at the counter, I said, is this a franchise? And she said, no. But if you call the number on the website, that goes directly to the owners. So me being in the franchise industry and seeing what I saw, I knew they had everything needed to duplicate that and become a franchise. So I called the number and they answered right away. And then they were here the very next week. And now they're up to about 10 locations. So that one is definitely my favorite.
It's amazing. Love that story. Thanks so much for sharing it.
Absolutely.
So this has been a great conversation. Just want to appreciate you and say thank you for your time. For those of you that are listening, if we've sparked any questions or got you thinking differently about franchising, that's the goal of this podcast, really, is to help you kind of understand franchising at a deeper level. So we'll be back again with another conversation breaking down all things franchising. Thanks for listening. And Mike, thanks again for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad.
Thanks.